I think why it's the case because AI kind of like the modern version of Ark of Covenant. Like back in the history, like the olden days, if you have an Ark of Covenant, it's a very powerful symbol to tell the rest of the competition that you have the power. So AI, as an innovation, as a tool, so that's how people are just the governments are positioning themselves. Right. Um, Now let's talk about the danger of this current design. Like, why is it dangerous? Now, if you think about, if you take a step back and if you just start, just try to analyze how this centralized control, like what else these companies control other than AI. If you ask a question, so AI kind of like the human 2.0, if you think about it, right? So it's like another human, but it's digital. But if you look at these companies on the list, there are AWS, Microsoft, and Google, and OpenAI. So these corporations, they also happen to have the biggest data centers. So data center is kind of like the way I see it, like the brain, because inside the data center, they have like servers or computers. So computers process information, and all these AI algorithms and training is happening on those data centers. So data centers, if you look at like, you know, thousands of data centers provide the compute or the brain power or computing power. And this is kind of like a brain. Um, it's the same way how our brain works, like synapses and neurons, the same concept here. They're using data centers to fuel and power these AI services. Now, who owns these majority of the AI data centers and just the general data centers are the very same companies. And then let's talk about knowledge. Now, in ancient history, especially like Romans, they knew knowledge is the key. If you have more knowledge than any other nation or any other kingdom, you are in power always. Knowledge is the key. But if you look at today, if you look at Google, if you look at Meta, if you look at Microsoft, um, they pretty much know a lot about you. It's these corporations. They know about the weather. They know about the financial markets. They know about history. They know about the space. They know about pretty much everything. So that's why the knowledge is also concentrated across those 4 to 5 companies, because they scrap the web. They get all the entire Wikipedia. They have a database of historical records, database of the entire human species. What happened into the species beyond humans, what kind of animals out there, the stars and space, material science, political wars, political systems. I mean, they collected. We are not talking about like couple of terabytes of data. We're talking about hundreds of millions of terabytes, if not petabytes of data. So they have the largest data or knowledge in the world. Because if you go to Google and if you ask a question, Google somehow knows the answer. How do they know the answer? Of course, they have the knowledge. It's like an oracle, right? So you have an oracle in front of you. You ask whatever questions you have. Oracle going to give you that answer. So that's why the same companies, they also happen to control the knowledge. They have the knowledge. They understand the context.